Hello and thank you for joining us here at Nodrushill Radio, where gamers rock. You have now tuned into the show Quote This with your host, DJ Raven, in the mix. What this show will be about will basically be a forum-style show where I'll be discussing pros, cons, arguments, complaints, anything and everything that gamers want to talk about when it comes to their favorite or quite often, more than not, their least favorite games. My objective is to tear down each side of the argument and give you my opinion on what could be wrong or right about said argument. For a quick example, let's go ahead and talk about the whole scenario with Mist of Pandaria, the next expansion for the World of Warcraft. There are many, and I mean many, speculators about this new expansion. It's been ugly so far from what I've read. So from anybody, from YouTube to forums to blog posts to people just ranting about, oh my God, there's gonna be pandas in World of Warcraft. We gotta play as Kung Fu Panda in World of Warcraft. Why are they ruining my game so much? Well, let's first of all talk about the whole Kung Fu Panda incident. If I recall correctly, the games Warcraft 1, 2, and 3 came out many years before Kung Fu Panda was even on a storyboard. So to say that Kung Fu Panda is the basis of why there are fighting pandas in World of Warcraft, I believe you need to check your lore, good sir. Pandarians have been in the Warcraft realm from pretty much the beginning, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, I apologize. I'm pretty sure I'm not mistaken. But if I am again, I apologize. Pandarians are an ancient race on World of Warcraft, or the Warcraft universe in general, that were known for their, well, let's face it, Kung Fu. They were known for their hand-to-hand combat. They were known for their mystical ways and their obsession of trying to keep themselves safe from the outside world. From what I've seen so far, it just looks like the veil is about to come down from the Mist of Pandaria, which gives us a chance to do things that we've never been able to do before. First of all, it unlocks a new class, which in my opinion has been long overdue. The last class that was unlocked in World of Warcraft was the Death Knight back for Lich King. And honestly, I'm still waiting for a new hero class. I'm hoping for Archdruid or Archmage or Blade Master. I know a lot of us are. But the fact that they're finally bringing in a new class altogether, I think is wonderful. I think it's an absolutely great idea that they're bringing in a new class. And I played World of Warcraft for a long time. I say a long time. I came in right after Vanilla. I jumped in on the Burning Crusade bandwagon. And I play all the way up to Cataclysm. Currently taking a break until the Pandarians show up, because when I was playing Cataclysm, me and a buddy of mine were chatting about it, and I said, there's one thing that would be so incredibly awesome for them to add to this game. One thing. And he asked me what that was. And I said, well, Pandarians. You give me Pandarians and you give me Brewmasters, and I'll show you a really awesome class to play as on this game. And it's as if Blizzard had a bug in my microphone that day, because lo and behold, there are future coming soon Brewmaster Pandarians, a drunken fist style fighting panda. And to me, that is just absolutely amazing, because that's what the Pandarians were known for, I believe, from Warcraft 3. They were just this shadowy images for your character to see, and one of them was drunk as a skunk, dancing and fighting and all that good stuff. Now, a lot of people look at this as a negative, though. Everybody thinks that these pandas are going to be that we're bartering to the Chinese with all this whole thing. Well, first of all, it's going to be hard to even get this to push in China, because as far as I know, they're against anything that has to do with killing pandas, since pandas are a endangered species to begin with in their home country. So I don't know how this is going to be working well in China, to be completely honest. But I will admit, most of the scenery that I've seen from Pandera is very Asian-esque, very, very Asian-esque. I will agree with you guys on that end of the bargain. But to say that it's just because, I used the phrase lightly, they're pandering to the Chinese market is highly illogical. Highly illogical, because the Pandarians, like I said, have been in the game for a while. Why would they suddenly make up a class to pander to the Chinese people? I highly disagree fully with that statement. Taking a look at the actual background stats to the new Pandaren, they have a couple of really neat racials that have never been introduced before anywhere in the World of Warcraft. One of them is called Epicurean. Increases the stat benefits of food by 100%. I have a feeling that's probably going to be nerfed at some point, because 100% of a buff on food is really, really big, especially with all the stacks you can do with food. Wait, can you? Can you not? I could have sworn you could. I guess it depends on the food. Gourmand, it actually encourages you to go through and actually become a chef, because you get bonuses from the food you make, and you're already a 15 skill increase by being the panda. So you're actually encouraged to be a chef in World of Warcraft. I like this. Now, the biggest thing is the inner peace. Your rested experience bonus lasts twice as long. That's going to make leveling a Pandaren so much quicker. I mean, you let your Pandaren go rest in the inn for a couple of days while you go level another tune, come back, and he'll have 200% experience boost for double what any other character would have. That's a great ratio in my opinion. Bouncy, it's taking 50% less falling damage. Falling damage is not really all that painful, because, well, especially with flying mouse now, you can get anywhere easily, but because the threat of falling never really occurred to me when playing the game. I hardly ever died by falling. I never failed that bad. I mean, I wasn't the best at the game, but I knew how to stay away from a freaking cliff. And Quaking Palm, your touch has secret pressure point on the enemy, putting them to sleep for 3 seconds. So, for any race, or any class I should say, for the Pandaren, especially for your rogues and for your warriors, you have an extra stun in your arsenal with Quaking Palm. That's actually pretty cool, especially for rogues, because everybody knows they always need another stun. I mean, come on now, that's not like they have enough. Jeez Louise. And going into the new class that they're going to give us with the monks, they actually give you an actual chance to utilize the fist weapons for World of Warcraft. And for me, I really enjoyed the fist weapons. My shaman uses fist weapons right now. They're just, I think they're really coolly. That's really goody language in there, fellas. Really well designed weapons, because I'll give WoW credit. They really do a good job at making weapons look really cool, especially the in-game weapons. But for me, the ones that always looked the coolest were the hand weapons, and there really was never a class that could truly take advantage of hand-to-hand combat. Enhancement shamans might be the exception to the rule. They have, with their Storm Strike and all that good stuff, that might be a little bit exception to the rule. But with a monk, they focus on weapons like that. Fist weapons, they can use one-handed axes, one-handed maces, one-handed swords, pole arms, and staves. But fist weapons is where it's going to be at. That's where the fun's going to be. And they haven't really released much other information about the monk class, other than it's going to be a multi-usable class, kind of like the druid. It could be a tank, it could be DPS, and I believe it could actually be a heals, if I'm not mistaken. The 3 moves that they've shown us so far that the monk has to choose from. You have Spinning Crane Kick. You spin while kicking in the air, dealing physical damage every 1 second to all enemies nearby within 8 yards. Movement speed is reduced by 30%, lasts 6 seconds. So it's basically another whirlwind. It's a whirlwind imitator. I could see that being used for the tank to get massive aggro on a group of enemies and making sure nothing gets away that tries to run away. Even though 30% speed reduction might be an issue for trying to get away too many enemies. Roll, which is basically a mini sprint because you get to roll a short distance. And it seems that hunters have their... you know what? I don't even know what hunters use anymore. I know they don't use mana. Do they use energy like rogues? I haven't played a hunter in forever, so I really don't know. I apologize for the lack of information. But I know for sure rogues use energy. Mages use mana. Shamans use mana. Warriors use rage. Death Knights use runes. And all the each class has their own specific thing they use to power their techniques. For monks, they're going to have what's called chi. What a surprise. Monks using something called chi. Didn't see that coming. Roll costs 50 chi unless you roll a short distance. I don't know how short that distance will be. They kind of showed it in the video where they did a barrel roll, so to speak, flying forward. It didn't look like it went that far, but I could see where it could help just to get away, that last boost of speed to get away from an oncoming enemy. Now, if you had some way to make it to where it got rid of a movement impairing stat, then roll would be really nice. It'd be really cool. Statue of the Jade Serpent's another one. Summons a statue at any target location. Anytime you deal damage, a nearby friendly target within 20 yards of the target will be healed. You can have up to 3 dragon statues active at a time. Does that mean you can have 3 of the Jade Serpent up at a time? Or is there going to be more dragon-style statues that you can summon at once? A la the Shaman. I don't know. Not much information is really given yet. I'm looking forward to when more content comes out for it. I will definitely be covering what they are both here, wink, and on my YouTube channel when I actually get back into World of Warcraft, because I'm waiting probably a month or two before the game actually says, hey, Mists of Pandaria coming out now. I'll wait a month before that because I want to at least get one of my characters level 85. I haven't done that yet, sadly. Don't you look at me like that. People got to take a break every now and then. We have lives, believe it or not. So let's see what else we got. Oh, the one of the biggest things that people are talking about for Mists of Pandaria is the new Pokemon system, aka the Pet Battle system, which allows you to fight your pets. Really? Is that really necessary? I would have liked to see the pets being able to be used in battle, like an actual battle with actual enemies. That would have been cool. But to add a mini game where you're actually just fighting your pets, really? I'm kind of lost on this. It's a neat feature. It'll definitely pander to the kid demographic. I'll give you that. I can see kids trolling all over the place trying to get, oh my god, I gotta get the crocodile pet. No, I gotta get the robot bunny pet. No, I want the demon dog pet. Yeah, I'll kick your butt with the demon dog. I can see that happening. I can see them really getting into the kids. But for the older people, unless even the hardcore Pokemon thing, because I know you're out there. I know you are. I'm looking at you right now. It'll probably be, it'll be alright. I don't see myself getting too deep into that, to be completely honest, at all. Some of the preview places that they're showing right now for the actual Pandaria area, you got the Wandering Isle, which is by lore standards, I believe, that's where we're going to be starting off in the actual game if you choose Pandaren. You start off on the back of a giant turtle who's floating around in the oceans of Azeroth. And then you got the Jade Forest, which will probably land after it's a big battle that'll happen. We'll land in the Jade Forest. Then there's the Valley of the Four Winds, Kunlai, I hope I said that right, Summit, Town Long Steps, and Vale of Eternal Blossoms. All this sounds fine and dandy, and so a couple of the screenshots look really neat. However, what's going to be the enemy of this expansion? That's a question that's been raised a couple of times. I'm sure they'll probably release what it'll be in the near future, I guess. But you would think that we would have a clue at who our main enemy is going to be by now. I mean, each expansion that we've had so far, they've given a "hello, here I am" kind of video of who the actual enemy is. I mean, you had for Burning Crusade, you saw who it was. For Lich King, you kind of guessed who it was. And for Cataclysm, they showed you who it was. They showed you the enemy in the main trailer for the game itself, for the expansion. Not so much for Pandera. They've only shown the Pandarans. They really haven't shown any enemies that we'll be fighting that are different, any bosses. Will we beat Deathwing by then? Have we beaten Deathwing yet? If not, does that mean Deathwing will still be around when we have to play as a Pandaran? I don't know. I have no idea. They haven't given any clues or anything like that. So, to me, though, the biggest thing that I am enjoying about the whole idea of the Pandarans and their zones is you get to choose what side you get to be on. So we'll have Horde Pandarans and we'll have Alliance Pandarans. I thought, personally, that's what they were going to do with the Goblins. I really thought the Goblins were going to be the first neutral class. I called that way back in the day with my buddy as well when we were talking about it. I was like, they need to bring Goblins in. You should be able to choose whether you be Alliance or Horde. But for some reason, they chose just to make them straight Horde. And I think it's awesome that they've given us a chance in a class to actually choose. Do we want to be on the Horde side? Do we want to be on the Alliance side? And you get to you'll actually see panda on panda action in PvP. I think that's really neat. I really think that's a neat trick they should have done, like I said, with the Goblins, and maybe even found another race to take the place for the Goblins if you wanted to have something go with the Worgen. But what do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet. Something else they're adding is something called challenge modes for dungeons. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. Like it gives you actual goals to do while playing in dungeons. This is just me giving you an example. Let's say you're playing, if they even go back to the old school dungeons and do this. Let's say you're playing Dead Mines. Let's say you're playing Dead Mines, and the goal is to kill Captain Cookie without touching a piece of food. Just for example. It'll be within the list of challenge mode achievements that'll be tracked for you and your guild and all that good stuff. There's going to be like time trial challenges. There's going to be, I guess, speed kill challenges. I really don't know exactly what they're going to do. You'll get awarded medals, bronze medal, silver medal, gold medal, depending on how well you do your objective. There's a chance to get mounts, titles, new armor art, a bunch of other stuff. So that'll definitely take a little bit of the monotony out of dungeon hopping especially for pug groups. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And now this thing, I'm probably going to agree with most of our haters out there for Pandera, is the new talent system. I am not a fan of the new talent system at all. I guess mostly so far because I don't really understand it. I'm still researching it, but from what I've seen, it's they're trying to get rid of the quote-unquote cookie cutter style of talent trees out there by taking away the actual talents. You have a choice of choosing from 3 different skills every 15 levels instead of getting an actual tree where you actually put your talent points in the areas that you want and all that stuff. They say they want to get rid of cookie cutter talent builds, but for some reason I feel this will just encourage cookie cutter builds, because here let's do an example. I'm playing a mage, and everything I've told you so far can be found at the World of Warcraft website, by the way. Let's say you're looking at the mage and you want to be an arcane mage. Well, you click on arcane and it shows you all the spells that you'll get as the arcane mage. Especially, and then you hit this, you can see all, you can hit class, which class I'm assuming all 3 specs will get as an arcane, fire, and frost. And then the spec will tell you the spells you get only as an arcane. At level 10 you get arcane blast, level 12 you get arcane barrage, level 54 you get arcane missiles, really. Level 62 you get arcane power, 77 arcane orb, which is similar to the fire orb from fire mages, and then at level 80 you get your mana adept mastery. Now you're probably wondering, well, that's all fine and dandy, but what happens between level 10 and 80 with the other skills? Well, as an arcane mage, you get the choice of 3 spells per 15 levels. Level 15, example, you have a choice between Ring of Frost, Ice Ward, and Frost Jaw. Ring of Frost summons a Ring of Frost, taking 2.5 seconds to coalesce. That's a new word. Enemies entering the fully formed ring will become frozen for 10 seconds, last 12 seconds. Similar to the spell that you see the Naga and the Negron using, the spellcasters. Ice Ward, everybody knows what Ice Ward is. Frost Jaw, silence and freezes an enemy in place for 8 seconds. Basically another... Or, well, it could be the replacement for... No, Frost Nova is still there, so it's another different version of Frost Nova. So you get 2. That's not that bad. But you only get to choose from one. You can't have Frost Jaw and Ring of Frost. You have to choose one. So let's say I pick Frost Jaw. Ice Ward and Ring of Frost gray out. You're not allowed to choose them. You go to level 30. You have your choice of the Mana Shield, Blazing Speed, Ice Barrier. No longer can you pop both Ice Barrier and Mana Shield. They're a choice now. Easily, I would go with Ice Barrier. And then it goes on. Presence of Mind, Scorch, Arcane Flows for level 45. And you can see the rest. But, I don't know. I don't see this as being well accepted by the community. We're not even coming close to putting this into effect yet, and people are already hating it. Which, that happens a lot, even without drastic changes like this. But this seems kind of odd. It just seems really weird. You say you want to get rid of cookie cutter, but when you only give everybody 3 options per level, people are going to know which of the 3 options are the best to use for PvP or PvE, and they're going to use those only. So I think that's only going to encourage the whole cookie cutter thingy. So that's just my personal opinion about the whole deal of that. And overall, that's pretty much where I stand on the whole Pandaren thing. I'm all for the new class. I love the fact that they're bringing in the Pandarens overall. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see Pandarens running around Azeroth, getting to see more lore about them, seeing more of their architecture, more of their way of life. Because I'm a big lore fan. I've read through the lore of Warcraft a dozen times. I'll probably go read it again just to see if I can find out where the Pandarens are. Because I don't remember actually reading about it last time I checked through it. But they probably might not be in there. Who knows? I'm excited about the new class. I'm glad they're finally bringing... It's not a hero class, but it's a new class regardless. So we'll get to enjoy the monks. And I like the fact that it's not just for the Pandarens, because that would have been stupid. That it's for every class. So you could have a human drunken fist master, which is going to be pretty cool. I can see a lot of Jackie Chan similarity. People being created. Jackie Chan, Jay Chan, Jackie C, all that good stuff. I can see that happening. Not a fan of the talent system. Talent system is going to be a big problem with a lot of people, especially taking away a lot of your options spell-wise. New places look really cool, look really nice, look really clean. The floating turtle is going to be really interesting. Looking forward to see how the turtle battle scene goes down. Really skeptical about the whole pet battle system. Fighting with your pets one-on-one just seems like a waste of time for me unless they utilize that system and have actual prizes you can win in tournaments or something like that. Like you can win an actual rare pet or a mount or something in the process. But if they leave it just as a pet battling system like Pokemon, I don't see a lot of people utilizing it over the age of 12. I really don't, because it's just a waste of time. It doesn't really have a real place in Azeroth. I guess I could go as far as saying that. Like I said, I would have rather them implement to where the pets can actually fight with you in actual battle and be used against enemies and use it. I mean, sure, that would have made your hunters and your frost mages and even some of your shamans really, really unfair and unbalanced, because they would have had two pets at once to fight. But so put a little bit of imbalance in the game. It'll make people actually try harder. If you make everybody even, nobody will try. I mean, what's the point of trying when you're going to win one, they're going to win one, we're going to win one, they're going to win one? How about we all just go all out and seek and actually win for once? Let's go get them, guy. Yeah. So yeah, pet battle system, not a fan. Of course, I'll try it out just to see. Why not? I mean, it's part of the whole shebang. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. All you haters out there thinking this Kung Fu Panda, get over yourself. You've become too spoiled, I'm going to say. You've become too spoiled in Azeroth. You really have. You complained about how easy Lich King was. And then you complain about the difficulty of the dungeons in Cataclysm. And then you whine when they nerfed the dungeons in Cataclysm. You're just going to keep complaining until the game doesn't exist anymore. Then who are you going to complain to? Yourself? Who? I mean, think about it. With Project Titan coming around, who knows? Maybe the world of Azeroth might be coming to an end. And Pandera might be the last hurrah. Why don't you actually just shut up and enjoy the game? How about that? Well, it's an opinion. And here, with DJ Raven in the mix, you can quote this. See you guys next time.